Manuel Luis Quezon is inaugurated as the first president of the newly formed Philippine Commonwealth. Watching the ceremony as Vice President Garner and 17 other members of the United States, the Filipinos are to be given the opportunity of governing themselves for an experimental period of 10 years, and President Quezon becomes their first ruler.
In this video, we will discuss about the Philippine Commonwealth Government in 1935 and to attempt to amend or change the 1987 Constitution. What is the Philippine Commonwealth Government in 1935? The Philippine Commonwealth Government in 1935 was a 10 years transitional period in the Philippines from 1935 to 1945 in the preparation for the independence from the United States.
The Commonwealth Government was a turning point in the Philippine history. It was certified on March 25, 1935. Why? For the Filipinos, it was the realization of their effort to manage themselves, to plan their own destiny in a people. So, Philippines became a self-governing Commonwealth in 1935.
And among the prevention was the election 1934 of Constitutional Convention to draft a constitution of incoming Commonwealth government. So it was presided by Claro Recto with 202 elected Filipino delegates who decided that constitution to be written would not govern not only the traditional Commonwealth but would apply the Republic as well.
The convention was finished on February 8, 1935 and submitted into the President of United States for the certification that its provision comply with the Philippine Independence Act.
It was certified on March 25, 1935 and it was subsequently certified by the Filipino people in a plebiscite on May 14, 1935.
On November 15, 1935, the inauguration of the Philippine government happened where Manuel L. Quezon was elected as a president and thus preparing the country for full independence after 10 years transition period. It was with Sergio Osmeña as his vice president.
And they took their part in the ceremony upon assuming the position Manuel L. Quezon. To all the task of laying the foundation of the future of the Philippine Republic. Into his speech, he said that, I was rather have government run like hell by Filipino, a government run like heaven by American. The Commonwealth Constitution used to guide the Philippine Commonwealth government.
These are the primary concerns in the Constitution period. First is national security and national defense. Second is social justice of the country. Third is education. Next is the language of Filipino. And last, the economic development.
Constitutional reform in the Philippines, also known as charter change. It refers to the political and legal process needed to amend the current 1987 Constitution of the Philippines. Under the common interpretation of the Constitution, amendments can be proposed by one of the three methods.
People initiative. Petition of at least 12% of the total number of registered voters, of which every legislative district must be represented by at least 3% of the registered voter. And plebiscite not earlier than 60 days, none later than 90 days after the certification by the Commission on Election of reference of the petition.
Constitutional Convention called the existence by the Congress with a vote of 2 to 3 of its members. Majority vote of all the members of Congress submitting to the electorate the question of calling such a convention. Plebiscite not earlier than 60 days, not later than 90 days after the submission of the amendments or revision.
Constituent Assembly. Vote by 3/4 of all its members. Its plebiscite was the same in Constitutional Convention.
It was proposed by House Speaker Feliciano Belmonte Jr., who subsequently submitted to the House of Representatives. This simple legislation as the means to amend would only require approval both houses, voting separately, and all proposed amendment method must be notified.
The first attempt to amend the 1987 Constitution was under President Fidel Ramos. He proposed change in the Constitution included a shift to a parliamentary system and lifting of term limit of the public official.
Under President Joseph Estrada, there was a similar attempt to change the 1987 Constitution. The process is termed as Concord or Constitutional Correction of Development. Unlike character change under Ramos and Arroyo, the Concord proposal, according to its proponents, would only amend the restrictive economic provisions of the Constitution that considered as impeding the entry of more foreign investment in the Philippines.
Under President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, she created the Consultative Commission that proposed the necessary revision on the 1987 Constitution after various consultation with different sectors of society.
Under President Benigno Aquino III, several proposals were put forth by different members of Congress. By Senator Pimentel, he called for constitutional reforms to convent the all federal republic.
Cagayan de Oro Representative Rufus Rodriguez and Abante Mindanao Party List Representative Maximo Rodriguez Jr. filed a bill pushing for a federal and parliamentary government in addition to economic liberalization.
During the May 2016 election, Rodriguez Duterte stated in May 2016 that a plebiscite on the proposed replacement of the unitary state with a federal one will be held in 2 years.
Duterte created a consultative committee to review the 1987 Constitution. It is referred to as the Bayanihan Constitution by President Duterte and the Consultative Committee. The proposed federal charter unders an amendment that aimed to prohibit elected officials from switching political parties during the first and last 2 years of their term as the response to court behavior.
While no amendment to the 1987 Constitution has succeeded, there have been several high-profile attempts. None reached the ratification by referendum stage.